Hey guys, it's Piper, now with censor beeps, because I'm sick of YouTube taking away my fucking ad revenue. I'll try to upload videos more often. I'm just really busy with studying for the ASVAB and, my novel that's coming out late this year, blah blah. I'll talk about that later. Anyway, the character I'm drawing right now is one of the antagonists, blah blah blah. You can follow her on Instagram, blah blah blah. Anyway, to the point, because I hate it when people ramble so much at the beginning of videos. I am never going to a male gynecologist again. Ever again. And I know that sounds super sexist, but hear me out. I don't give a shit. It's awkward having a man poke around my vagina, and I need a female gyno who personally understands organs only females have. I'm sure not every male gyno is as bad as this guy was, but, I'm not going to take that chance again because I don't need a cisgender male trying to convince me that I'm wrong and the pain I'm feeling in my ovaries is actually in my bladder. Like I'm too stupid to know where my ovaries are, and that's not even the half of it. So let's start from the beginning because a lot of people don't even know what's wrong with me. Just like me, I don't even know what's wrong with me still. Okay. Yeah, as some of you know, I've been having some problems with my lady zone over the past however long, so for the benefit of any males in the audience, ovaries are not an organ you're supposed to feel. If you have pain there, you're not supposed to ignore it like I did for a year. You could have cysts, cancer, endometriosis, etc., and, they did test me for cancer. But they didn't find anything, and they ruled out endometriosis, which is a condition where the tissue surrounding the uterus starts growing outside of it instead, and they say that your, menstrual cycle is, retrograde, so, I don't know, I guess that means your period blood hangs out in your lady balls instead of flowing out and ruining all your panties. Anyway. What was I saying? Okay, it wasn't aligned with what's left of my period. So anyway, my symptoms are light, irregular periods, hot flashes, dry vagina, having to pee all the time, tender breast, urinary leakage, and fatigue. So they think that I'm going through early perimenopause, which is fine because if I'm not mature enough to have a kid at 27, I'm never going to be mature enough to have a kid. My doctor thinks that I have ovarian cysts, although they didn't show up on a transvaginal ultrasound I had a few years ago. Something about the thickness of my uterus walls or something, I don't know. Transvaginal ultrasounds, they feel kind of like being shafted by a rubber curling iron, so it kind of sucks that was all for nothing. But anyway, they put me on birth control, but the pain didn't completely go away. So I said, fuck that shit. The birth control side effects were driving me crazy, and it's all or nothing with me. So at this point, I just wanted answers and also a hysterectomy, but my insurance will only cover a hysterectomy for a medical necessity, and they don't count transitioning as a medical necessity. And I don't like talking about my gender dysphoria much anyway because it's depressing and people always ask me questions I don't want to answer about being genderqueer. And I get it. It's still... Oh god, I don't even want to get into it, but so with my ovaries aching and my vagina being as dry as a Gyarados desert, I can always feel them. So, I'm always aware that I'm female every second of every day because my lady balls hurt and my vagina is dry. Got it? Yeah. Okay, so I wanted a hysterectomy, but I couldn't just come out and ask for one or else my insurance would consider it an elective surgery. So my doctor referred me to a gynecologist to see if a total hysterectomy was my only option. None of them know I have gender dysphoria. I don't want to risk that, Well, anyway, this guy, he was very, very skeptical that I'm in perimenopause at my age, and he couldn't believe that my other doctor thought that, or that I agreed with her. Ha! I'm too young. That rarely happens. Well, you know what else is rare? White-rumped vultures, but that doesn't mean they don't exist or that you'll never see one. God. So, let me first say that I get all of these things I'm about to talk about are necessary, were necessary, whatever, but were they painful, and I went through all of it for nothing. So, I've gotten pap smears before, but he was so rough. Oh, and holy shit. There was no mirror, so I had no idea what was going on down there. They never told me what was coming next or going in, but whatever it was killed me. You know, I'm not used to having these huge ass man hands in my virgin pussy, okay? I mean, if they were like Donald Trump size, it wouldn't have been so bad, but damn, those hands were huge. Like, okay, obviously he used a ton of lube, but it was not enough. It didn't even fit the first time, okay? So, you know, more lube, but, you know, he didn't tell me what was coming next or what was going on, so I'm the type of person I like to be really informed. So since he didn't tell me anything, that just made me even more anxious, and of course I was already anxious because I could tell he didn't believe me, and I didn't know what to expect. So yeah, super anxious, and of course in a ton of pain with his hand in a place where honestly I never wanted a hand to be. So, and he's just like grabbing parts of my vagina, like squeezing really, really hard, and like, does this hurt your ovaries? Does this hurt your ovaries? And I'm saying no, obviously, because it hurts my vagina, not my ovaries. But then after like 4 more squeezes of hell, he finally explains to me what he's doing. He's trying to simulate the pain in my ovaries. Air quotes. I think he meant stimulate, but whatever, not important. I botch my words all the time. But honestly, I was in so much pain with the squeezing that I was like, and I don't want to admit this, but I was just too busy trying not to cry. I couldn't concentrate on what hurt or not. I mean, maybe my ovaries did hurt. I don't know. I was a little distracted by my vagina being ripped apart by this guy's meteor hands. He said, well, I'd give you a hysterectomy, but I don't think it would help. And I was like, what the f***? Of course it would help. The pain is in my ovaries. If you remove my ovaries, goodbye pain. And then he tries to convince me that I'm wrong, and the pain I'm feeling is in my bladder. And whatever is wrong with my bladder explains why I have to pee every 10 seconds. And he doesn't feel any cysts. How can you feel a cyst? I honestly don't know how you could feel a cyst from inside my vagina. I don't know. I'll take his word for it that's possible, because even if he's invalidating me and my symptoms and my intelligence, that doesn't change the fact that he has a medical degree and I obviously don't. So either way, what the f***? I am 27 years old. I am almost 30. I know where my ovaries are. Hiccup, excuse me. And, you know, if the pain isn't in my ovaries, how the hell did birth control dull it a little bit? Like, explain that, bitch. Anyway, while he was monologuing, I realized that my ovaries really did hurt, and they hurt a lot worse than usual. Hiccup again. And I guessed that maybe they were like super sore after he spent all that time jerking around in there, and I just didn't notice while it was happening because, ouch. But I didn't get to tell him because when I sat up, I was suddenly overcome by nausea and dizziness, and my ears were ringing, you know, cold sweat, all that shit, you get it. So for some reason, I couldn't function. Before I could speak up, he was just like, bye, I'll see you next year, and left the room while I was lying there. Despite saying he thought there was a problem with my bladder, he didn't refer me to a urologist, which is a doctor that specializes in bladders and wieners. And other than a pap smear, he didn't run any tests. Didn't schedule me for a transvaginal ultrasound to make sure there were really no cysts. Just, bye, I'll see you next year. I don't even know what the fuck his problem was. Like, maybe he thought I was a hypochondriac, or maybe he just didn't care. Maybe it was because he didn't believe me. Maybe there's something wrong with him. I mean, what makes a man want to become a vagina doctor anyway? Like, I can't fathom it. You know, I lost my train of thought. But, okay, so the novel I announced is damn good, by the way. A little off topic, but I was going to talk about it anyway. So, And even I think it's good, and I hate everything I create, but I'm aiming for a November release date. It will have illustrations in it. You can subscribe for more information in the future, or follow one of my villains for consistent updates. I'm hoping to sell enough copies to transition, aka get a few minor surgeries on my face to make me look just a little more masculine, or a little more androgynous, you know. And then I can do a face reveal. And that's not so much a bribe, just like cause and effect. So I guess 10,000 copies in my first 3 months ought to do it. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe 2020 will be my year. Maybe no one will appreciate my genius and I'll die in obscurity. And pain, who knows? Oh yeah, pain. Pain. Well, if I sound extra angry lately, it's because I'm in pain and I hate everything. I need to calm down. Because I stopped taking painkillers. Not that ibuprofen helps much anyway, so I'm just gonna sit here and steam in agony, because at least this way I know that no matter what that doctor is telling me or what anybody else is telling me, this pain is real. It's something I am actually experiencing. So I will try one more time to see another doctor, just one more time, and if that doctor tells me it's in my bladder, I'm just going to Hulk smash the bed and sulk off to spend the rest of my fucking life in agony. And then when I get to the army, I'm gonna be the pissed, angriest second lieutenant they have, and I will have a blast screaming at everyone on goddamn day, like the career was made just for me. Please rate, subscribe, and have a great day before I explode, because I don't think I can't talk about this anymore. I just can't. And don't forget to follow Arete and Elijah for book updates and the occasional laugh in this cold, uncaring world. See ya.